happy to meet you. I hope that you are okay and that you are enjoying the best of health, because that's what's matter. First is health, and then everything else can come after. Now, we have to finish the text we started last time, health for all base, for all need. We stopped in number 3, question number 3. Okay, now I want you to write your answers for this question. Why is cancer one of the prevalent causes of death in the USA? And it's, by the way, it's not just in the USA, it's all over the world. Number 3. Can you write your answers, please? By the way, I don't know whether you, I guess that's with WhatsApp and all the social networks that you are using, I think that you are informed that the exam will take place the 8th February.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay. So exam date, starting date. So though you know, it's good to confirm what you know. The exam will be something like what we are doing now, because all the text we have done so far. You cannot see. Sorry. You have to inform me in case you don't see my screen. Thank you, Wisal, for informing. No, if nobody can see, if someone cannot see, everyone cannot see. Now I think you can see. So the exam will be, and as I told you, you'll have the text with comprehension questions like what we are doing in now. Okay, so together we have worked on some text. So all you have to do is to do the same thing with your friends to prepare for the exam. You have plenty of time, especially now that it is our last course. So you have the holiday, you have 1 week holiday, and you have 1 week, first week of February, to prepare well for the exam. And there is one way to prepare for the exam is to work on text, as many texts as you can. This is the only way. Okay, focus on paraphrasing, because this is the question in which most students have problems. Please don't help your friends. We don't know yet whether we had a discussion in university about the exam, and up to now we said that it will be face to face, but who knows what will happen when the exam date will be closed, because it's not a decision that depends just on the Ministry of Education. So be prepared for the two possibilities, either a face-to-face exam or an online exam. Anyway, you'd be informed. In all cases, please, I just want to remind you, don't help each other in the exam. And don't, in case it is online, don't use internet, okay? Because if, of course, the teacher cannot find or discover all those who have cheated, but if we find, then we give a bad mark, and we don't like to take that decision. Same for when we find two papers which are the same, or clear signs that a student has helped another. We don't play the detective role to know who has helped who. Both students get a bad mark. So don't take this risk, please. Don't take the risk of helping someone, and as a consequence, you'll have a bad mark too. All right? Okay, now, please, well, they said that it is online. Anyway, we will see. Maybe things can change. But anyway, be prepared
Teacher,
for the exam,
teacher, what,
whatever way, should be
what,
prepared for that. Yes, you want to say something?
yes, what, I was wondering, what is your personal opinion about this matter? Would you prefer for the exams to actually be virtual or presential?
Me, you
Yes.
are talking about me.
Yeah.
I would prefer a face-to-face exam, of course. Questions
Why
of
is that?
credibility, for yes, we discovered that some students cheat, and yes, some students get a 0, and they don't know, or they try not to show that they don't understand why. So if you get a 0, I'm not talking about absence. If you get a 0, it means that you have copied, and we don't give that unless we are sure that the student has copied. So don't make this mistake, please.
Okay.
So it's a question of credibility. Face-to-face exams, online exams lack to a great extent credibility. But for those who can copy for some reasons and then succeed or get the average, you will not go far this way. Cheating will not lead you far in your studies career, please. Okay, now remember that if you cheat, you will be always deep inside, you know that you don't deserve to succeed. And even when you get your BA, if you get it, then in interviews, because in all exams now you have a written exam and you have the interview, and it is in the interview that we decide about whether a student deserves to get a given job. And in interviews, those who cheat always lack self-confidence, and it is clear in the interview, whereas good students have the interview and we feel self-confidence, and they can answer face-to-face, and they get the job at the end. Okay, so please rely on yourself. All you have to do is to prepare as many texts as you can before the exam. Have a plan for the time left for the exam, in which you assign for each subject given time to work. You have no time for television, no time for internet, no time for Facebook, no time for things that will waste your time. You have to focus on your studies and only your studies. And I would prefer that you work in groups, 2-3 students together. Not necessarily that you need to meet. You can use Google Meet as I'm using it now. You can choose a text, and then you can work together. Now, have a look at question 3. Try to write your answers. Text: health for all, a basic need. And remember that in this question, it is stated that you have to use your answers in your own words. Remember that if in the question it states that you have to use your own words, don't copy word for word what you have in the text. They will not give a very good mark. Why is cancer one of the prevalent causes of death in the USA? The screen has gone because Iman, one of the students, has maybe she did a mistake. She shared her screen, and now I hope I think that I'm back. Some students are still lost when they are in front of a computer. Okay, now try to write the answer. So I'm choosing one answer. Why is cancer one of the prevalent causes of death? Yes, so here pollution, a time of pollution caused by, yes, in water, environment in general, in food, due to the substances used. Yes, the use of pesticides in agriculture. All right, now look at number 4, please. Major factors. You read the text and you try to answer this question. We are in health for all, a basic need, question 4. We see that we have here major factors, means that there is not only one factor. So here Khadija has given us some factors. You see, it's a common mistake when we have and. When you see and you have and here, better use commas, okay? And would be kept at the end. Travel, tourism, and the movement of rural populations into cities. You know, in the past, movement between cities or between countries was very difficult. Even between villages in the past, when there were two villages and you have one river between, there was no movement because there were no bridges. I'm talking about the past. Okay, geography stood as a barrier to contact between people and to movement of the population. Nowadays, movement is much more easier. It is less expensive. It's like if we take using planes in the past, it was a privilege for rich people. Nowadays, middle class people can travel by planes. It's not like in the past. And this quick movement of the population can lead to middle class can have access to the use of airplanes. It's not like in the past. Now, if we take into consideration what happened in China recently with the coronavirus, it started in a city there called Wuhan, and very quickly the virus spread all over the world. But this is as a consequence of the movement of the population, and of course they infected and everyone or nearly or a big number of people all over the world. Yes, okay. There is also demography, what Schwak says, climate change, viruses, challenges of new epidemic, yes. But please remember that you have to mention the factors that are mentioned in the text. Okay? Whenever you are given a question, the answer should be taken from the text, unless in the question it is specified that you are asking for your opinion. Like this one, we says according to you. Now, if I say according to you, here means that we are asking for your opinion. Now the text you are working on in the exam, of course. Okay, so whenever you are given questions, in the answers refer to the text given to you. The text we are talking about is health, the text about health. Now, question 5. Now here you give your opinion. What could be done to improve world health conditions? So it is your first day, Ashwaq, and your last day, because this is our last session, unfortunately. Now, try to answer the question. source demography is also one of the factors that help in spreading diseases. No recap session. So you have text, many texts, work on the text given to you, and add other texts that you can find on the net. You will not send me anything. Prepare, work on texts with friends. First, work without using a dictionary. When you answer the questions, compare your answers with that of your friends, 2-3 students you can work together, and then to make sure you can check in a dictionary. Okay, so you will have in the exam text, which will look like the text we have worked on. Most of the text, not all of the text that we have given you were previous exams, so that you are familiar with the type of exams that you can have. So, your opinion about what can be done to make better world health conditions? Yeah, so we have many suggestions. So of course, here there is no one answer. All answers can be accepted as long as yes, so here controlling rural exodus. Now here, of course, by providing the needed infrastructure for people living in the countryside so that they can stay in their countryside. It's impossible to say to a person living in the countryside, stay there while there are no schools, no hospitals, no roads, no water, no electricity. It's impossible. So you have to put yourself in their shoes. People who come to the cities, they have their reasons, maybe because there are no jobs or so, or life being very hard in the countryside. So yeah, we have decision makers have to take care of the countryside as they and think of the countryside as they think of the cities. Yes. So of course pollution, yes, mentioned. Having a healthy lifestyle, yes. Yes. We have Ashwaq has mentioned many things. Yes, so we many good ideas. Many good ideas. You see that I have copied many. You're not supposed to write all these answers. So we have many suggestions. Now, as I told you, we have many possibilities. Okay, what matters is that you give logical ideas that can be accepted as a way to improve health conditions. Now, paraphrasing. Now here, rewrite in your own words. So try to paraphrase the first phrase. Remember that you have to use your own words. Yes, so we have many possible answers, good answers. Opting for Karima's suggestion, which is a good one. Many others are good too. Pose or simply presents. An increasing menace to life or existence, mentioned by one of your friends. Now have a look at number 2, please. Paraphrase. These diseases are also spreading through the poorer nations. Remember that expansion, the verb is to expand. The noun is expansion, so that you don't confuse. I've seen that some students have written the word maladie. I don't know whether maladie is an English word. I don't think so. Maladie is French, but we check. Now, if you add rich communities, this is not mentioned here. We are talking just limit yourself to what you have. Poorer nations. Though we understand that they mean that we can find it both in rich and poor communities, but stick to the sentence given to you or to the phrase given to you. Maladie is French, I think. But I can't, I will check. I've never used the word yes. Okay. So I have checked. I think that it exists. I have never used myself the word maladie with Y at the end. Of course, in the plural, it's with IES. Now here I have an example from Khadija. Something that I have already said before, it's not necessary that you keep the same structure of the original sentence. Okay? It's like here, poor nations is at the end of the sentence, and your friend has started with it at the very beginning. No problem, as long as you keep the ideas with no addition, no deletion, you're free to change the order of things in your sentence. Propagation, yes, spreading, okay, of these, so illnesses or diseases or maladies. Now, I have never used it, I confess, I have never used the word before, maladies. So we have a French word that is used in English. But in singular, we have to remember that it is written with Y, so that we don't confuse with the French spelling. Plural, maladies, of course. All right. Now, have a look at number 3, please. Yes, Shwak, what is your question?
Hello.
Yes, it is our last session. Yes, you have texts, and look at Google Classroom. You'll have all the things that we have done. I will put it there, the lesson, the text that we have worked on, so you can see how we did things, and then you follow while preparing the other text or more than the one that I have given to you. Yes. Look at all the platforms I have put on Google Classroom. Yes, the exam of the 8th is the final one. Of course, there is a rattrapage session, recap session. For those who don't succeed, we have a recap session later on. And I'm sure that you are informed about it. So we have two sessions. First session will be on the 8th February, and then again the 8th, starting from the 8th of March, you'll have second session, I mean the recap session for those who did not get the average in the first one. So that will be after 1 month, 8th of March. Yes, face-to-face exams are better for us and for many students, for good students especially. The decision does not depend on us. Okay, it depends on our Ministry of Health, especially Ministry of Health. Depends on the state, the situation related to coronavirus pandemic. We hope that things will get rid of this virus in the nearest future and go back to our usual way of teaching and testing. Okay, now back to the sentence piece so that we don't waste time. Write your way to paraphrase number 3. So here I have opted for one answer. So long here. She paraphrased it with time consuming, difficult, hard, patient, suffering person, or simply the sick person and his assistants, those helping that particular, special, particular inspections, examinations are in need, okay, or are needed. Are needed simply. Which is a good example of paraphrasing. Yes, number 4. Number 4. Waiting for the others to write their sentences. It's good to write your sentence and compare your sentence with that of your friends. See the span of interaction. Yes, so we have many good likelihood or probability Now here we have sexually active persons who have multiple partners. Yes, paraphrased with sexually engaged with several partners. Okay. At potential risk, it is danger, jeopardize, contagion, infection. That's a possibility. Yes, so there is the danger of infection in case you have many partners. Okay. Last sentence. The goal of health for all seems far out of reach. Now, what are your suggestions? Give you a few minutes to write. Paraphrase in your own words. Yes, remember objective. Don't confuse with the French word with F at the end. Don't see the link with authenticity of the word authenticity with health. There is no link at all. Yes, so many good answers. So the goal, paraphrased with the aim, health for all. Health for all seems not to have been yes. Now here one more, which is good. Another suggestion. So yes, goal, aim, objective. Healthcare to all individuals appear unreachable, cannot be reached. Yes, good. All right, now we start the new text I told you to prepare, which is walking for pleasure. Now, sport. What can you say about sport? Yes, it is important, of course. Yes, being healthy, fun, healthy, yes, being good shape, discipline to be adopted. Yes. All right. There are so many things to. So sports equals health according to or good health plus fun to save health. Yes, so the consequence of sport, there's more consequence not just on the physical aspects Fatim Zahra mentioned, but also on keeping a balance between what is physical, what is emotional. Yes. Yes, so it is, it's very difficult to find someone who say that sport is bad. But still, do you practice sport? That's the question. Yeah, so we have here many who states that they do, okay? But if we do some statistics and see, just in this class, we have 63 students now attending the course. In terms of percentage, how many practice really sports, though we know that sport is good for health. It's a discipline. I mean, this is something that we lack. Okay, sometimes we look for excuses. Now the best excuse is coronavirus. Sometimes we say we cannot afford. Sometimes I don't have money to buy sports equipment. So we try to find excuses. We are busy. Yes, we don't have time. We will do it tomorrow. Procrastination, yes. Yeah, but we have to start one day. And believe me, myself, I used to practice sport recently. I have stopped, and when you stop for a long time, it's very difficult to restart again. So I advise myself and you to go back to sports. And again, we say we are very busy. If you are well organized, because sport won't take much time from you if you practice 3 hours per week. It's more than enough for someone who is not planning to be part of the Olympic Games. So you are not professional athletes. Okay, so if you just practice 3 times a week, session of 1 hour, it will be more than enough. Okay, now the text walking for pleasure, that's again was one of the previous exams. We will start with the vocabulary. So let's start with the A. We have the word sprain. So you have to choose the right answer. And you see here that some students write their answers because they have done the exercise, which is a good sign. There are some students who may be even lost. They don't know even what we are talking about. Those will be lagging behind. So as I told you before, it's a train. So either you go with us in the train or you stay in the station. It's your decision. It's up to you to decide. Okay, so yes, so twist. So yes, most of you have given the right answer. And see some students who are still coming. Now, B, shunned. Shunned, majority gives the correct answer, which is avoided. When you shun doing something, you avoid doing it. Let's see where the word much of this discomfort, however, can be shunned, can be avoided. Yes. Deliberately. When you do something in a deliberate way, something which is deliberate, and I'm surprised that we have some students who may make mistakes, especially that we suppose that you have done it at home, and then maybe when you have finished, you have to check the dictionary to check whether what you have done is correct or not. And here, deliberately means intentionally, as most students have answered. Liable, D. So here, pay attention. We have even in summer. Normally in summer we don't have bad or fall weather, but even in summer, especially in Europe, it's possible to have fall weather. So it's not unlikely. No, unlikely, that's in Morocco, and it's not the word liable. Here it means bound, are bound to. Okay, so it's not unlikely. So here you have confused because you have seen the word summer. You thought that fall weather is unlikely, but here we say even in summer. Okay. Normally we expect that in summer the weather is good. Generally, that's Morocco. But if you are in Britain, north of Canada, or north of United States, it's possible to have rain in the summer. Okay. Now, designed. Designed, planned. As now, I'd like you to explain according to context. Okay, according to the context in the text. Rumble here, what does it mean? Mm-hmm. Has not to do with picnic. It's about walking, wandering. Yes. Because pay attention when you it's not necessary that when you walk to practice sports, it's not necessarily that you are going somewhere. Okay, you can go aimlessly, just walk for. You can say, for example, you will work for 1 hour. It can be aimlessly. Don't know where you are going sometimes, because the goal is simply walking. It's not going somewhere. So here that's a possibility, and we don't have an aim. So for pleasure, walking aimlessly, for it's for pleasure that you're doing that, okay? Wandering also, to wander. Pay attention how we write wander with a. Yes, don't confuse with wander with o, which is another word. Wander with o and wander with a means to walk aimlessly. Okay, now miserable. Let's again go back to the text. Yes, unhappy. Very sad. Bad conditions. Uncomfortable. Yes, so we have many possibilities. Miserable in this context. So please remember that the word uncomfortable is written with an M, not an N, as in French. M. Yes. Spoiled. Now, spoiled in the text. It has nothing to do with possessions, taking possessions. Talking about spoiled regions, you know, no, Lubna, no, Aisha, no, spoiled regions. You know, we say that the enemy of the environment are human beings. Generally, places where people are rare to find are less spoiled regions. They are not damaged because it's people who throw rubbish, who yes, changed by humans. Yes, Abd Razzaq has given and damaged in a negative way. So here we'll take Abd Razzaq's answer, but we'll add so that we have a clear especially damaged by humans. Okay? Firm. Why I always keep on telling you refer to context, because the same word, when you check in a dictionary, you'll find that the word can have different meanings. So you have to check. And have a firm ankle support. Yes, solid, strong, tight, stable, all of these are good. Rigid, yes. Inflexible, yes. Not frozen, no, no, not frozen here. Solid. Now, foul, foul. Foul weather. Bad weather, stormy, windy, yes. Yes, Yusra. Shwa, good. Wisal, good. Okay, now we move to paraphrasing, please. Again, remind you that paraphrasing means to state in your own words without adding, without deleting what we have in the original sentence. Yes, look at number 1. Deserted, deserted with E, not I. So you can paraphrase, but it's very easy to paraphrase, but many of you have kept the same word. Shand does not mean desolate. Hisham, your paraphrasing is not okay. Stick to the meaning of the original sentence. Pay attention to the word dunya, incident. We have it's in, and here we are talking about accident. We have the word incident, but it's not with un. Shand, we don't have this in the original sentence. However, these regions are not deserted, desolate, deserted, or barren. Deserted or barren also. I mentioned Yusuf has mentioned the word barren, which is okay. Yes, I said it. Shand means avoided, and we have seen the word before. But deserted, desolate means deserted, barren. Well, I understand why some students have opted for shand, means people avoid to go to those places. But if you say it this way, yes. But if you put just the word shand, does not mean desolate, which means deserted. Yes. Look at number 2, please. And maybe I will here copy 2 so that we can compare. Let's look at number one, please. The way, and tell me whether it's a good way to paraphrase. If you have any suggestion, did she respect the original? Now, what do you suggest? If you please, if you find that that something is not acceptable, you suggest something. You just mention which word you think is not appropriate, and then you armed. Yes, so the Razak says we could add tools or yes, armed. Yes, the word armed, it's not necessarily it has to do with war. Yes. Armed with, yes. Maybe you can add armed with what? With equipment or, yes, with the necessary equipment. Attention to the word equipment, 1P, whereas the verb here is double P. Materials, yes. If you say weapons, that you are talking about war. Okay. To pull out. What does the word pull out mean? Does it mean, because here she used it to mean survive. Does pull out means to survive? Make it out alive, yes. Can you check in your dictionaries for pull out whether it means survive? Abandon with a, aban. Grasp something out, pull out, draw something, yes. So it's a little bit far from survive. So what do you suggest for survive? A better word for survive? Remain alive, keep alive, yes. Find your way out, to subsist, also. Live on, subsist. but also to entertain nature at its worst. Now, what do you think of that? Now here, to enjoy nature at its worst, to entertain nature. What do you think? Is it correct? To entertain. We entertain someone, okay? Or we can be entertained. Yes, we can be entertained by nature. We can be entertained by a film, but we don't entertain nature. This is a problem here. So how can we replace entertain here? Find amusement, to have fun, to have a good time. But we need to connect it with nature. How can you say it? Enjoy, you are repeating the same word. To find, yes, better, to find pleasure in nature. Yes. Find amusement in nature. Shayma, good. Now here at its worst, she did not paraphrase. What does the author want to say here at its worst? Yes, the bad side, because nature can be sometimes when we have bad weather. Yes. So if you are not well equipped, then you will suffer. If you, for example, you go to run in a mountain and then it rains. Can you imagine if you are not well equipped? You will not enjoy. You can be even you can be ill. You can die if you are not well equipped, or if it snows in a mountain and you are not well equipped. So being well equipped can help you enjoy nature in all its facets, whether it is good or bad. Unpredictable conditions. Yes. Yes. To find pleasure in nature, even in bad, like even in bad conditions. Or in bad conditions. It's all sides, okay? In all the facets. Now look at number 2. Not only do you have any remark about number 2? To be exist. We don't say to be exist. But yet you want to say to survive. We don't say to be exist. Islan, you're writing a word sexist that has nothing to do with here. And it's not funny, Aisha, because sexist has nothing to be funny for. Sexist, it's a kind of racism based on gender. Yes. Sentence is not complete. So we say to exist, not to be exist. But is to exist, is it a good synonym for survive? Yes, so to survive, we said we can use to subsist. Okay. Now you remember that you can pay attention that the student has missed this. You need to be equipped, which is not was not paraphrased. You need to be equipped to continue living, to remain alive. Keep being alive, yes. Keep being alive, yes. Keep being alive. So you need to be equipped was not paraphrased. Okay. And profit. Profit, what's the problem? Yes, we said it about equipment is not mentioned. So this is missing. Yes, this is French. Profit, this is French. No E. But here he wants to say to enjoy. Enjoy, does it mean to accept and to enjoy, we said, to find the pleasure, to benefit, to profit, to make a profit is to have a benefit, yes, but to appreciate, I would say opt for appreciate better, to appreciate nature in its at its worst, no matter how it is bad, not to exploit. Okay, so here just remember, please, do not delete in paraphrasing. Stick to the original meaning. Do not delete something from the original sentence, and do not add something which is not mentioned. That's, if you stick to this, I think you will not have problems. Okay? Feel free to modify the structure of the sentence as long as you keep the meaning, the original meaning. All right? You don't give your opinion. You are not here to agree or disagree with the author. Okay? You just understand the sentence of the author and say it in your own words. That's it. All right? So, do you have any question? Any questions? Yes, so the exercises, the text I have put for you some text in Google Classroom and in the platform. Whether it will be easy or difficult, it depends on you. It depends how are you prepared. So the text that we put in the platform are not enough, or in Google Classroom, they are not enough. Okay, so you have to work all of these texts because they were previous exams, so that you know the type of text you can expect. And look for other texts. You find them in Google. You just look for texts with questions, with comprehension questions. And for paraphrasing, choose any sentence in any paragraph and paraphrase, but better do it with friends. 2 or 3 friends work together so that you can compare your answers. And I'm sure you will agree together about which one is the best. And you can learn from your friends also. Yes, so what about the exam, Aisha? What is your question? Dictionary, there is no best dictionary. All dictionaries are good. Collins, where here myself I use, let me show you Collins, Oxford, Merriam-Webster. So any dictionary is okay. Okay, what matters is that you stick whenever you explain something, or you, especially in the vocabulary section, pay attention to the context. What about the other modules? Which modules? I can talk about the modules I'm teaching you. The other modules you can ask your teachers. As for writing paragraphs, with I'm teaching 2. Paragraph writing, you'll have narrative or descriptive paragraph. Okay, for narrative, for paragraph writing, you'll have 2 questions, okay, in which you have to choose either you write a narrative or a descriptive paragraph. So if you don't have contact with them, just rely on the lessons they have provided in the platform. All right, so back to our course. Reading comprehension, how you prepare for the exam. I have a recap session for those who would like to attend. You have the link that I have sent you from the very beginning. I will have a recap session with in writing paragraphs. If you want to attend, no problem. I will talk about descriptive paragraphs for those who would like to attend. Thursday, this Thursday at 8:30, I have a recap session about descriptive paragraphs. So that is not your teacher, but no harm, provided that we don't exceed 100 students. Thursday, 21st January at 8:30. I will put for you the link of the Google Meet for writing paragraphs, okay, in Google Classroom, for those who would like to attend a session about how to write a descriptive paragraph. Okay, so I wish you good luck. Texts, that's how you prepare the exam. Okay, many texts, work as many texts as you can. Narrative, I did it with my students for narrative. Well, maybe I can put for you the course of my writing paragraphs. I can put it to you. It may help you. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye. So next week is a holiday, and you have 1 week more to prepare for the exam. The exam starting date would be the 8th of February. Take care of yourself. and work hard.